Hello, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. So we're going to try this again. Evidently it stopped working, but if it ended up doing it again, I'll probably just switch over to my phone. So we're going to jump right into our first poem, which is called Her Kisses. Her kisses taste like sunshine, and the rain in summer, cold and refreshing upon your skin, soothing to the soul. She'll make you shiver from her kiss. And this is basically just a word prompt I did for the word sunshine. And it's basically 7 different ones that that have different things that come up with a meaning about for sunshine. Um, some of them do like different elements or different times spring or whatever, cause especially around this time of year. So that's basically what I was working with here. This one right here is called She Broke the Mirror. She broke the mirror and cratered her face in the palm of her hands as tears gathered in her palms. A shattered mirror for a pretty face. It was all a pipe dream that exploded in her face when he broke her heart. And basically, this poem is I did a poem back in Words for a Muse, was back during the pandemic, where a lot of people end up losing a lot of different things because of the pandemic shut down so much. People couldn't go out and do things. People couldn't be with anybody or see anybody for that matter. And I mean, there's still lingering effects of that going on today, where people really struggle to go out or don't go out as much as they do. But it was basically in this situation with this woman is that she broke her mirror basically because she felt that she wasn't pretty enough for the guy who broke her heart because he left her alone, because he left her, or even though she was a very beautiful woman. And a lot of people, suffer from body dysmorphia where they don't see themselves as being pretty or handsome and stuff. And it says it goes for both for men and women, both, or for men and women. So it's a frustrating thing because you want to be accepted, and a lot of people go on their gut, looks to their face and stuff, or how you look or how you present yourself. But this next one's called Hope Whispers. Hope whispers while you sleep to angels up on high. It speaks to them, hoping they will be listening as your heart longs to feel the touch of an angel. And this is basically a lot of times when I was frustrated about the situations and stuff. I just wanted to feel a that there was a presence that was around that did really care, or something that, or someone did care. So a lot of times it was basically either praying to God or some deity or universe or whatever to find comfort where there was nothing around to be comforted by. So it was just, you start to learn to love yourself more in the loneliness of things. The next poem is called Drunk on Poetry. I get drunk on you, drunk on poetry, of their words when I taste them, as they pour from your lips, and I find myself wanting more every kiss when those words tickle like a fountain of spring. And it's basically, there's some people that I've met where I just write poetry about them because they inspire me in so many ways, and it could be in a number of different things that people don't realize. They say, you when you're around people, you get inspired by them. You know, it could be either a way that of something they do, how they carry themselves, how they act, and a lot of the situations where they're so many times it could be a worse situation for what it is, but they overcome it, and it's kind of inspiration in how those things work. So, and a lot of times it's basically when sometimes I come upon a woman or a person, and we start communicating and start talking and having the conversations, and continue the conversations on in the books, because there are a lot more things that are expressed upon in those. And sometimes it's just like you meet someone and you want to know, have a carnal knowledge of that person. If you don't know what carnal knowledge is, look it up. But you really want a lot more intimate dealing with that person. This next poem is called Spending Days. Spending days in my head, searching for an escape, poring over things that weigh me down. It's the frustration of it all, when you can't turn it off because you want to play things out, always on repeat, depleting my energy with wasted thoughts about my health or family. It is a consistent circle of emotions because I want to fight, but it's an uphill battle all the way, and doing it alone. And I mean, this right here talks about how just being lost in your thoughts, and you're thinking about trying to figure out something, where it's money, where it's a situation with a person or a place or a thing, or where you're going to, what next moves you're going to do when it comes to going to shows, or going to places, or going to hang out with people, or planning things, or just planning some alone time with yourself. I mean, going on walks, being in nature, things like that. But a lot of times you have to deal with, when you're alone, you have to deal with the uphill battle of things, of doing something alone. But not all the time are you alone. You have people you can reach out to talk to about things. It just depends on the situation and the person. This next one's called Painted Memories. Sparkling eyes twinkle like stars laying close in a low light. Painted memories of your silhouette graced my bedside, and I got lost in the spiral of stars illuminating your soul. Those little lights surrounded me as I drowned in the soft blue sea of your iris. And I am lost in an ocean of blissful imagination, in a place I called home, laying here with the memory of your ghost. And for this right here, sorry. And in this situation here with this one is that I very seldom dwell on things from the past because I don't want to. I've moved on from those things. Those things that have happened back then are not the same things I deal with today, or the same persons or same things. Even though I may go back and I may remember somebody and their, who they are and their face, and all that, or who they are, I don't stay there long. It may inspire a brief moment of wanting to write something because I thought of something more that I would enjoy with that person, or that feeling, or the need, because my mom passed away 5 years ago. It's just like, what would it be like to have maybe an hour or two to be able to sit and talk to her. Today's my adopted mom's birthday, so I mean, it's just like having those moments where to be able to sit and talk to somebody that that you love, that was a part of your life. Being able to catch up on things where you're at, and seeing how they were doing and everything. But those things won't happen, or at least this eternity. So, two more poems, and then we'll call it a night. This one's called "I Ache to Taste Your Lips." I ache to taste your lips, but I don't know you. I only know the fantasy I make you to be in my head, as I long to make love to you. Build memories of us as we fall in love together. Maybe it's my imagination and wishful thinking. Hell, You don't even remember my name. So why do I hold these moments with wanting to feel the touch of your hand or feel your embrace for longer than a moment? So this was a poem I wrote about a girl, and we sat and we talked about things. I mean, we had a connection and stuff, and it was really interesting. So, but it was just like a couple of days later, we see each other again at a convention or this thing, and she's like, she doesn't even remember my name or who I am. So it's one of those things where you're like, wait a minute, we just talked about these things. We just, you just did it, and what the hell? So it meant that only one of us was actually, in depth, going in deep enough where we realized the conversation we were having. So we just had to leave it alone. This was called "Am I Numb?" Am I numb to everything around me? When you're running on autopilot to get through the day, things happen and you have no emotion to show for the changes that surrounded it. It feels like a headlong dive into the abyss, and you wonder when you're going to break the surface for that gasp of air for your burning lungs, trying to find a spark or some form of motivation to push through. When you just want to give up, but for some reason, you still find a way to get up. And it's basically what it is. You have to charge through the day. And the times when you do it on autopilot and trying to get through things because you're frustrated, you're tired, you're lonely, you're depressed, and all those different things, and you just don't know where to begin because you really want more out of things, out of life, and all that. But you gotta be happy with what you have right now, which is true from what I've been told. But it doesn't mean you can't want or desire to have something better, not to take its place, but something there. You know. So, okay, so events. So March 14th, I will be at a Naked Toes Poetry Show in Nashville at Madtown Cafe. 6 o'clock is when the open mic, when the sign-ups for open mic start, and I will be the guest feature, so I will be doing some poetry there. Which I gotta work on that. Second, I plan on being at Island Vibes on Thursday, March 16th, in Antioch. So please look that up. Get your tickets on Eventbrite. It's through Poets Playground. The next one will be on the 21st at our spot, and that's in Gallatin. So I will give you a date and time. I mean, I'll give you a time for that and everything. But I'm pretty sure it's at 7 o'clock, and the address for our spot next Sunday. So y'all have a good one. Take care of yourselves. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Be safe.